question. There's really no problem with the question. It's a beautiful thing. But in the sense of what most people understand A Course in Miracles as, differs a little bit to what now I describe it as or understand it, and what the purpose is of it for, since my death experience. Before, yes, it was all about, I could get out of the dream, I could transcend the world, I need to heal the world, I need to forgive everyone. And oh man, the bombardment of embracing everything, even like on my travels, I was literally deliberately getting into weird situations just so I could have more to forgive. And I was looking for reasons to apply forgiveness. Essentially, if I saw anything occurring, and especially if I had some sort of trigger and emotional involvement in any way, I could apply forgiveness. Now, as much as forgiveness is, it describes and says it's not a pardon, but still 90% of A Course in Miracles students still say, you got to let it go, right? You got to pardon it. Oh, we don't want to say that, right? We don't want to say, but you got to let it go. Yes, it's true, you got to let it go. Yes, we want to learn how to do that. But it's not just brush it under the rug, right? It's not just brush it under the rug. As you may have heard, my definition of forgiveness essentially is the relinquishing the ability, or surrendering the ability, to discern differences. Now, as much as you can read the layers of interpretation of forgiveness on the Undefinable and Expansive website, the different variations, regardless if it is with, say, the pardon of somebody or not, what you're doing is learning how to surrender that ability to discern differences. You're learning how to let go of the fact that you think something different happened to you, right? How many times have you had to forgive someone giving you ice cream? I mean, maybe, right? You broke my diet, you son of a beep, right? No, but in this, you don't have to forgive everything. But how do you know the difference between that and being raped? Sorry for the extremity of that one. It's no joke. That's not what I'm saying. But how do you know the difference between it? Now, yes, in society, there is no essentially place of pardoning someone that needs, say, justice or protection, or other people need protection from. I'm not condoning these activities. I'm saying, how do you know the difference between getting ice cream and getting your car keyed? Do they do that anymore? Depends if you still have a key, right? How do you tell the difference? Now, of course, that's something very experimental. I mean, experiential. It might be experimental for quite a long time, but in the sense of how do you know what the difference is? I mean, you just do, right? Well, you can tell the difference between this person and that. Well, the sensations are a lot different, Devan. Right? A lot. That hurt. And this feels good. Right? That is painful. And this is lovely. Right? Yeah, I can see the differences there. I recognize the separation of these things. Yeah, I can see that too, if that's what I'm going for. And if you're in the world and you need to be in the world, yes, keep seeing differences, protect yourself. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not telling you not to. I'm talking about if you want to get out of the dream. I'm talking about if you want to transcend the world, if you need to forgive the world still, you can't see differences. You have to find that place in your noggin where this processing occurs. You have to become aware of yourself so that you can see what the difference is. You can look at anything. You can look at the difference in color. You can see the processing of blue and the processing of red, the processing of white, and you can feel it. Now, of course, maybe you can't feel it, but I've done a lot of meditation, especially on my journey, on my travels. I was meditating almost all the time, and I got to this state where I was feeling the synapses charging in my brain. I wanted to be aware of God. You think God's not aware of synapses charging in your brain? You got to be aware of everything. Yeah. And so you're learning to think in that way. You're learning to become aware of everything. So with that, yes, that practice, I think it goes hand in hand. If you're not actually trying to be aware, you're just using A Course in Miracles to deny yourself in another fashion. Ooh, now I got fancy terminology to define myself by, and now I can defy myself in a whole nother way. Now I am a wise denial, right? Well, how do you use it? In the sense of actually experiencing something, right? Sure, you could just say, oh, love, 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 love. That's beautiful. But how do you know the difference between hate, 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 death, fear, son of a beep, 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 and love, 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 love? How do you know the difference? So forgiveness to me is about becoming aware of where you see differences. And yeah, if it's in the brain or if it's the perceiver, observer, if it's Christ itself, makes no difference. I'm just pointing here. How do you know the difference, man, between what I'm pointing at and what is, right? It's becoming aware of that. And then what do you do with it? What do you do in the process of forgiveness? It's not just denying it. Oh, I see the differences and I'm just going to walk past. No, it's learning how to see it all the same. How can you see it all the same when it's obviously different? Well, you want to experience unity, right? Not separation, not good and bad. You want to experience unity, right? As we would describe what God is, we experience what unity is, right? So we take that. We can't have duality, separation, and say we know God. Oh, I know God, but not the devil, that stupid son of a beep. Right? It's not, wait a second. You're telling me, Devan, that you can't have a separation? Oh, no, there's no separation. It's just there's love and the ego. Oh, there's love and fear. Right? Oh, there's love and anything else. You name clowns, maybe clowns, right? It's a wonderful thing to start looking a little more honestly at yourself and a little more honestly here at what you are actually experiencing. If you want to transcend the world, you can't think in worldly ways. What is the way in which worldly ways is thinking? The idea of separation. Yeah, the idea of separation of the knowledge of good and evil. We're not talking about, hey, you gotta go worship the devil now. We're not saying, hey, I just need you to sign this with your blood, please. No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about seeing with the eyes of Christ. We're talking about embracing the vision in which the way God sees you, God knows you, the way intended to experience this reality. Now, you can't do that if you are habitually choosing a way in which is not conducive to thinking in that fashion, to being and experiencing it. If you want to experience outside of time and space, you can't have the thought system of time and space. I mean, time and space, come on guys, right? Separation. You have to think in the way in which they think outside of time and space in order to experience time and space. So as you're becoming aware, you're starting to be very sensitive to feeling everything occurring in your mind and everywhere else, let me tell you. But you're feeling everything. You actually start feeling beyond your body as if it is you. And you start experiencing this in the sense of what is sensation? What is thought? And of course, I would love to be able to explain it, even in the sense that I really can't even explain what forgiveness is. But it's the absence of that thinking thing. The thinking thing is the processing of and assessing this observation of opposites, of differences. So you're surrendering the ability to tell the differences. You're surrendering the ability to be able to even recognize differences. And you will experience beyond time and space. You have it in you because that's where you actually exist. You can experience beyond it. And yeah, sure, you can say, oh, it's just going to show me another place. It's just going to show me another world, another dimension, another thing. Yes. Mm-hmm. But you'll get past this self. You'll get past the separation. You get past this pain. You get past this suffering, this strangeness. And yeah, every possible option. A Course in Miracles is all about that. It's all about all options. You interpret it this way, that's right. You interpret it that way, that's right, because it's not about what way you interpret. It's about going beyond the interpretations and seeing what you are, what the world is beyond all interpretations. So you think discernment even has a noble aspect to it. Even reading it in the Course in Miracles, what is discernment for? Well, you got to be able to discern the differences in order to find out what guidance is, right? Well, how do you discern guidance? Guidance is about how to think. It's not about what you think. If you think guidance is, should I go left or right? Should I buy this or that? You're still kind of obsessed with the separation, physicality representation. That's perfectly fine. But you don't recognize that it's not about the thinking. It's about how you're thinking. You're thinking in separation references. And you're not even recognizing what it is that speaks to you. What it is that you are. You've forgotten who you are, so you, of course, how would you know what the Spirit is? How would you know what truth is? You can't even find out where you are. You're poking around in there, you don't even know where you are. You're like, I'm here, but I'm not. Where am I? Hello? Anybody in there? Or hello? Can't find anything. So no matter what, you're doing a great job. You're on the right track. You don't have to worry about if it's right or wrong. You're going to change. No matter what it is, you're going to change for the better. You're going to understand it this way. Oh, that's going to be right for a while. You're going to go that way. And then it's going to change on you. You'll be like, oh, I misunderstood A Course in Miracles. And oh, that's going to lead you in another direction. It's beautiful. It's not about directions. It's not about what you achieve or what you don't achieve. It's about who you are. It's about finding who you are. It's about discovering that essence in which you are and knowing that. Beyond all experiences of separation or personhood or objects or like, I don't know who I am, but he does. No. It is an experience. Just like you're experiencing this physical world. And it will bring you to that experience. Just keep diligently trying the best way you know how. You read something, you're like, oh, I've been doing it wrong. Great. Do it right. However you define that. It's like that being authentic thing. It's like, yeah, I'll be authentic. I'm totally real. I'm being myself, dude. And then you grow up a little bit. And then you start being yourself. And you realize, wow, I wasn't even myself before. No, you realized layers of yourself. You've become more of yourself. Don't worry about being too authentic, because guess what? The only thing that's absolutely authentic is what God is. And you can't be that when you're in partial perspectives or perception in any fashion. So it's okay. Be as real as you can be. Be as real as you define that. And it will lead you to being more real. It will reveal more layers. So how is it that you can be more real today? Find that in you. Whatever it is, be what it is. Open that. Express that. Love that. And let it go.